as long as Google is surfacing 10 blue links, they are, in some respects, their power is shielded. Their influence and control of the flow of information is hidden. Maybe they're manipulating search results, maybe they're not. Who can really tell? They definitely were not sort of at the beginning, and they built up this huge amount of trust in sort of habits that you've talked about, why you're skeptical that anything will take Google over just because it's so embedded in people's lives. And as long as that was the case, and you could, even if you had to change your search results around or figure out where to go, you could find what you were looking for on Google. And it was like this shield when this company has astronomical power, but that power was not perceived as a problem because the users were still deciding where to go after they did a Google search. Users were still empowered.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really important distinction because to the extent that we're envisioning a world in which LLMs supplant search as information aggregators, the behavior of users entering text prompts is largely going to be the same, or at least similar. But the behavior of the companies that are serving the results is completely different than the business that Google has been doing for the past 25 years, where like Google, they could be 100% neutral and just serve you a bunch of links. And then Google is judged by the quality of the 10 blue links it's giving you. But with LLMs, it's almost like the entire product becomes like, remember the I'm feeling lucky button that Google had?
Yes,
where
exactly.
You enter a prompt and then boom, you have your information. And then users are going to judge Google by the quality of the subjective answer it gives. Depending on what the question is, I mean, we've seen it can generate all sorts of different controversy and erode trust and everything else. And so it's just an entirely different game for Google to be playing here.
That's right. You were going from a world of abundance where they're sorting that abundance for you to the exact opposite world. There's no abundance in an LM answer. There's one answer. It's actually even more constrictive than maybe if you lived in a city, you would have two newspapers, right? Two is more than one. and there's a bit about this. This is very, very dangerous. If you're really good, of course it's super valuable. Like I mentioned, I've been using, LLMs much more for sort of basic sort of research and understanding of various terms and concepts, stuff that is very far from the political, that is not sort of updated rapidly. It's going to be, it's going to point me in the direction sort of I need to know. And in that case, just getting the answer is great. Trying to go through the web, which is increasingly just, there's so much SEO spam and there's ads everywhere and all this sort of thing to sort of figure out, I just want to understand this particular concept. LM is amazing. Giving me one answer and it's faster, it's easier, it's a delightful experience.
I've said in the past that I use it for parenting advice because there's so much sponsored crap on Google that you just go to ChatGPT and ask a specific question about your baby and you get an easier, simpler answer on ChatGPT.
Did it tell you to buy an extra airplane seat for your kid? Or?
It didn't. I have my friend Ben. Ben GPT serves that purpose for me, but maybe one day ChatGPT will catch up.
So but the problem is the moment you get into anything controversial is you're presenting one option, which means by definition, you're imputing values into your answer.
Right.
And what's important to make clear here is it doesn't actually matter. This is what those values are. Someone somewhere is going to be irritated and upset. If Gemini had gone the opposite direction and was showing nothing but white people, there would have been a big controversy, right? Like there is no winning here. And on one hand, that perhaps gives you some sort of, understanding and mercy for, or grace or whatever for Google's sort of performance. But on the other hand, it just accentuates the sort of risk. Again, I've been focused on this business model aspect. What's the difference of serving one answer instead of 10 links with a bunch of ad links that you can click on? But that exact issue is front and center with the product.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. And I would just add that the issue you run into is if you say our North Star is accuracy first, last, and always, people accuracy means different things to different people. COVID is the classic example.
Right. There's also a lot of stuff people
years-
don't want accuracy about.
Well, that's true. But also, I mean, there are a number of people, like millions and millions of people, who were convinced that they were right. They were on the side of objective reality throughout COVID, and they believed diametrically opposed things about various aspects of the response to COVID. And so
we don't need
you're
to
not
make a
winning in that situation.
Right. We don't need, and the key thing is we don't need to make a determination here on this podcast about which side was right. The whole point is that there were multiple sides, right? And that is going,
that's the point.
Yeah, that is going to apply to every sort of single situation.